In today's tutorial, we will be setting up a virtual machine, also called a virtual computer, on our PC or laptop. Virtual machines are useful when trying to test programs, test changes to operating systems, or learn types of operating systems, and that's what we use this for in class. Virtual machines allow us to install new operating systems on a computer without permanently affecting the operating system currently installed on the device. Now, to set up our virtual machine, we will be using Oracle VirtualBox. This is a free, easy-to-use software that allows us to set up a virtual machine and can be downloaded from virtualbox.org. I will be going to Edge, going to virtualbox.org, and clicking the Download VirtualBox button. I've already downloaded VirtualBox to expedite this process. Installation instructions are available during the download process, and it is important to follow those instructions, as this may look different for each user depending on their current operating system. Give you a minute to go ahead and do that. Hit pause if necessary. In addition to VirtualBox, we also will be downloading and setting up Kali, which is a Linux-based operating system that is downloadable from kali.org. That's KALI.org. Again, I've also downloaded this to help expedite our tutorial. With Kali and Linux, we'll be able to use the virtual machine to learn new operating systems and tools without having to utilize a completely different computer. So now that we have VirtualBox installed on our computer and we have downloaded the installation file for Kali, we will open VirtualBox. Now that we have VirtualBox open, we will go ahead and select New. Enter the name of the virtual machine. So for this tutorial, we will enter the name Kali Linux. Then we will specify where the virtual machine should be saved on a computer. We will be leaving this in the default setting. In the ISO image section, we will select our Kali Linux installation file we downloaded. The type and version will be auto-filled. We will then hit Next to move on in the setup process. On this screen, we will be specifying how much RAM and how many processing or CPU cores should be used by the virtual machine. VirtualBox helps us with this process by color-coding the recommended amounts to assign for both values. In our scenario, we will be setting it for 2 gigs and 2 processors. The recommended amounts of RAM and processors will vary based on the operating system you are attempting to set up and the hardware contained within your device. Once this is set, select Next to move on to the next screen. On this screen, we will determine how much hard drive space will be allocated to the virtual machine. We will set ours to 15 gigabytes, as Kali does not require large amounts of storage. More storage may be needed if you are installing different operating systems to your virtual machine, so please be attentive to that. Once we've selected our disk size, we will select Next. Here we will review the summary of details. If everything looks correct and the details match, hit Finish to finalize the setup of this virtual machine. We know that the setup is complete because we now see Kali Linux as a virtual machine listed in VirtualBox. Once it's highlighted, go ahead and hit the green arrow to select Start. You will see the virtual machine start and the prompts to install Kali Linux. We will proceed through the setup process. You may have to close some prompts and select Continue throughout this process. You will be asked to enter a hostname for this system. We will just hit Continue for this prompt. You will be asked to enter a domain name. We will leave this blank and hit Continue. You will be asked to set up a username for your new account. We will select the username User. Continue. You will be asked to select a good password. I will go ahead and show my password in the password box to give you an idea of an appropriate password. Once you've entered your confirmation, select Continue. Select your appropriate time zone. We are located in Hawaii. You can choose the appropriate time zone for your location. Click Continue through the prompts for partition disks. To finalize changes to your drive, change the default answer of no to yes and hit Continue. For the software selection prompt, select Continue. At this prompt, keep the default option of yes and hit Continue. At the next option, select the virtual hard disk and select Continue. Now that the installation of Kali Linux on our virtual machine has finished, we will go ahead and select Continue to reboot. Enter the username and password we set. Once we're logged in, let's go ahead and put our screen into full screen if it isn't already. Now is an opportunity to begin exploring the new operating system and tools that may be available. One of the most important things when utilizing a virtual machine is that we can see that our standard or normal Windows computer is still available and unaffected by this installation. This process allows us to learn new operating systems while being able to quickly switch back to our normal operating system, all without needing to have a separate computer or restarting our computer. I hope you find this tutorial helpful and it encourages you to try out virtual machines. Like and follow for more.